Chapter 9. The First Thread Pulled. Michael's apartment was a battlefield of questions. The files from Nemesis weighed heavily on him, their fragmented pieces mocking his attempts to form a coherent picture. The photograph of Elizabeth Rowe, his mother, seemed to watch him from its spot on the wall, her enigmatic smile a painful reminder of how deeply this mystery was rooted in his own past. Sleep eluded him. He paced the cluttered space, his mind racing through the details Samira had uncovered about the biotech summit. It was the opportunity they needed, but the risks were monumental. Nemesis had shown their hand, and now they would be watching for anyone attempting to disrupt their plans. Each step Michael took in his pacing felt like a metaphorical one, closer to a battle he wasn't certain they were ready for. His thoughts churned, replaying every interaction, every lead, and every moment that had led them to this precarious position. Michael's phone buzzed on the table, the screen lighting up with Samira's name. He answered on the second ring. "It's confirmed," she said without preamble. "Carmichael's attending the summit. She'll be presenting on neural interface advancements." Michael's grip on the phone tightened. "What's our angle?" "There's a back entrance through the conference center's maintenance wing," Samira explained. "Security is tight, but I've already intercepted their network feeds. We'll have a small window during the keynote to get you into their server room. If Carmichael's keeping anything critical on site, that's where it'll be." "What about the keynote?" Michael asked, pacing. "If she's speaking publicly, we could use it to confront her." "It's too risky," Samira said sharply. "Carmichael isn't just going to stand there while you accuse her of running a covert genetic manipulation program. She'll turn the room against you in seconds." Michael exhaled slowly. "Then we'll stick to the plan." The summit's sprawling venue loomed before him, its gleaming facade a stark contrast to the tension roiling in his chest. The lobby was a sea of tailored suits and polished smiles, the hum of conversation blending with the occasional clink of champagne glasses. Michael moved through the crowd, his nondescript attire allowing him to blend in seamlessly. Yet every interaction, the clink of glasses, the forced laughter, felt like a surreal reminder of the stakes. Samira's voice buzzed in his earpiece. "Your ID scan worked. You're clear to proceed to the maintenance wing. Keep to the left corridor and avoid the main floor. Security's heavier near the keynote." Michael adjusted his earpiece and slipped away from the crowd. The maintenance wing was a stark contrast to the opulence of the lobby, its fluorescent lights and utilitarian design a reminder of the facility's operational core. He moved quickly, his steps muffled by the thin carpet. Every creak or shuffle echoed ominously, and his heart raced with anticipation of what lay ahead. The hum of distant machinery seemed louder here, a background noise that heightened his unease. As he approached the server room, Samira's voice cut in again. "You've got company. 2 guards stationed outside the entrance. You'll need to take them out quietly." Michael's jaw tightened. He reached for the small stun device concealed in his pocket, his movements deliberate as he approached the guards. The first went down with a quick strike to the neck, his body slumping against the wall. The second turned, his eyes widening in surprise, but Michael was faster. A swift blow sent him crumpling to the floor. "They're down," Michael muttered, dragging the unconscious guards into an alcove. Heading in. The server room was a cathedral of technology, rows of glowing machines humming with energy. Michael moved to the central terminal, his fingers working quickly as he connected the portable drive Samira had given him. Lines of code filled the screen, the virus embedding itself into Nemesis's systems. Each beep and hum felt like a countdown to a moment of truth. The servers glowed faintly, their lights pulsing as though alive, as Michael stared at the intricate network diagrams displayed on the terminal. "How long?" Michael asked, his voice low. 3 minutes, Samira replied. "Keep an eye on the door. If anyone interrupts, it'll compromise the upload." Michael's eyes flicked to the entrance, his body tensed for any sign of movement. The seconds dragged, each one stretching into an eternity. The hum of the servers was deafening in the silence, a constant reminder of the stakes. He glanced at the screens, watching as Nemesis's intricate network flickered with instability. This was the closest they'd ever been to striking a decisive blow. His pulse quickened as the virus infiltrated deeper. The sound of approaching footsteps sent a jolt of adrenaline through him. Michael spun, his weapon drawn, as the door swung open. A figure stepped inside, their silhouette backlit by the corridor's harsh light. "You should have stayed out of this," Alexei said, his voice a cold echo of Michael's own. Michael's grip on his weapon tightened. "Alexei." Alexei's lips curved into a faint smirk. "Did you really think you could outmaneuver Nemesis? You're playing a game you don't even understand." "Enlighten me," Michael shot back, his voice steady despite the storm brewing inside him. Alexei's smirk widened. "You're part of this, whether you want to be or not. Carmichael didn't just create clones, Michael. She created soldiers. And you're next on her list." Michael's stomach churned, but he refused to let the fear show. "I'm not like you." "Not yet," Alexei said, his tone almost mocking. "But give it time." The tension snapped as Alexei lunged. Michael dodged the first strike, countering with a swift kick that sent Alexei staggering back. The fight was brutal, their movements a violent dance of mirrored skills and instincts. Each blow felt like a battle against himself, a fight to reclaim his own identity. Alexei's speed and precision were uncanny, every strike calculated to exploit a weakness. The terminal beeped, signaling the virus's completion. Michael's focus shifted for a fraction of a second, and Alexei took advantage. A sharp strike sent Michael crashing into the terminal, the wind knocked from his lungs. "You're predictable," Alexei said, raising his weapon. "That's your greatest weakness." "And your greatest strength," Michael countered, slamming his palm into the emergency override on the terminal. A surge of electricity burst from the console, catching Alexei off guard and sending him sprawling. Sparks rained down, the lights flickering as the room descended into chaos. Michael didn't wait. He grabbed the portable drive and sprinted for the exit, his breath ragged as alarms blared around him. Samira's voice was in his ear, urging him to move faster. "I've got you a route," she said. "North corridor. Go!" The escape was a blur of motion and chaos. Guards flooded the hallways, their shouts mingling with the deafening wail of alarms. Michael ducked into a service corridor, his heart pounding as he followed Samira's directions. He passed rows of storage units and emergency panels, each one a reminder of the facility's cold mechanical efficiency. His body ached, but he didn't slow down. When he finally burst into the open air, the cool night breeze hit him like a wave. A black SUV screeched to a halt in front of him. The passenger door flung open. Michael dove inside, the vehicle speeding away before he had even closed the door. Samira sat in the driver's seat, her knuckles white on the wheel. "Did you get it?" Michael held up the drive, his chest heaving. "We got it." Her shoulders sagged in relief, but her expression remained tense. "Carmichael's going to know. She'll double down now." Michael nodded, his gaze fixed on the darkened city ahead. "Let her. We're not done yet." The SUV disappeared into the night, the drive in Michael's hand a symbol of hope, and the storm still to come.